Alright guys, it's Craig K_C19 here, and I'm going to give you all my deck build of my Gigavise deck today. Okay, first off, 2 Lone Fire Blossoms. Of course, any plant deck needs this. Great searcher, pop it for its own self, get any plant out of your deck, no requirements whatsoever. 2 Gigaplants, you know, because my Gigavise deck runs off supervised Gigaplants. Use a little loophole there to synchro swarm the field more or less with my deck. Because of the new ban list, 2 Dandies, great for defense till you get the cards you need in your hand. If not, they're great to sync with. They have the 2 extra the tokens for fodder to pop with Lone Fire if you need them. I run a Dark Engine on my Gigavise deck to search out the parts I need. I think it's more consistent, faster. So of course I have the 3 Mystic Tomatoes. I usually go from a Mystic, depending on what I have in my hand. If I have Dads in my hand, if I have my Dad in my hand, I'll go from Mystic to Sega, and then run into their monster to add a Lone Fire to my hand so I can special summon my Dad then and there. But more or less, they're great stall, keep you from getting killed too fast, and getting you what you need in the graveyard. They're also great to remove from play to use Mark of the Rose against your opponent's monster. I run 1 Copy Plant. I have the power tools. You sync with them with the Gigaplant equipped with Supervise. You get your Gigaplant back, plus you get your power tool to search for more equipped cards in your deck. Great. Nettles, another great card in this, because once you have everything you set up, you just use Gigaplant to bring back Nettles. Sync with Gigaplant to get out. Can I say the name?
Black Bedrago.
To get out Black Bedrago, who's a 3000 beat stick, and if he dies in any shape or form, you can normally get your Gigaplants back, which is great. I love it because my friend always uses Lightning Vortex on me, so I love to have him out there so I can get my Gigaplants back. Of course, Dad, because I run the Dark Engine. He's so easy to get out. Game changer, easy game changer. Then I run Gores. One of my favorite things to do with Gores is I start out with a Hidden Armory in hand and a Gores in my hand, and I'll use my Hidden Armory to add a Supervised to my hand and then leave myself open so my opponent can usually try to hit me hard and I can just get out Gores. It's great. It really stops a lot of OTKs. It's just a great card to have in almost any deck. Plague Spreader. Everyone knows this card. He's just great. Return 1 card to the top of your deck and special summon from the grave. Then we got Sangan. Sangan, like I said, I run into other people to kill them off myself, so I can add Lone Fire to my hand. And then we have Violet Witch, which just lets you add a plant type to your hand with 1500 or less defense, which is one of probably the easier ways to grab Lone Fire. Then here is Twilight Rose Knight. I'll show you a neat little combo I'd love to do with her here in a second. And then Debrius Dragon. He's good for letting you grab Lone Fire or Dandelion back out from your grave so you can sync for Black Rose Dragon, which I'm fixing to get my Ghost Area in. Kind of excited about that one. Alright, for my spell setup, I run 3 Supervise, of course. For the Gigavise, of course. A little loophole there. Makes it swarm fast. 3 Mark of the Rose. There's so many brain controls and ways to take over my opponent's monsters in this deck. It's amazing. So even if they get something I can't run over, like a Colossal Fight or something, most of the time I'll just steal it, tribute it off for a Giga, or I can steal their Bryonic, use their Bryonic's effect to bounce everything back to their hand, then tribute it or sync with it for a higher level monster. It's great. All it has to do is to remove a plant from your graveyard out of play, which in this deck I have plenty of. 2 D&D Reincarnations. Same thing. Whatever you remove from play with your Mark of the Rose, you can always grab back with this just by discarding a card from your hand. It's great if you're in a nice little loop and you have a Mark of the Rose in your hand and a D&D Carnation, because you can remove a Lone Fire from play, then discard a random card from your hand to grab your Lone Fire back from out of play and pop it to grab something else from your deck. Great. I only run 1 Hidden Army right now. I need to try to get that up to 2. I'm going to try to trade for one at my next locals. But I want to try to have about 5 ways to get my Supervise into my hand, which should make it fairly quick. I run 1 Brain Control, 1 Mind Control. Like I said, in this deck I love to take over my opponent's stuff and use them for whatever I need them for at the moment. Get them out of the way for a second to hit them directly, or just to sync with their monsters that I don't like in the way. I run 1 My Body as a Shield in case I can't OTK them, and next turn if they have a lightning or something I can try to stop that. And then of course my spell destructions, so I can get their back roll out of the way, so when I try to go for an OTK I don't have to worry about running into a mirror force or anything like that. And with this stuff I can just clear it out and have no problem and just try to go for the OTK. I don't run very many traps in this, but I do run 7. Call of the Haunted to try to abuse Lone Fire just a little bit. I run 2 Rule of Decrees. If I can't get a heavy storm or a giant tornado into my hand before I try to OTK them, I can activate my Rule of Decrees, so the traps that they might have will do nothing against me. 1 Mirror Force, of course, a staple. 1 Torrential Tribute. A thing I just found out this Torrential Tribute that I'm really liking is I can normal summon my Lone Fire, activate its effect, and then chain Torrential Tribute to it, destroy all monsters on the field, and since I have to tribute a Lone Fire for its cost, it's already off the field, and after Torrential Resolve, since it's Chain Link 2, and Lone Fire's Chain Link 1, I get my Gigaplants out, and if I have a Supervise, I can go off while they have no monsters. It's great. And of course, what's pretty much a staple anymore these days, 2 Bottomless Holes. And that's about it. I guess I'll show you my extra deck. I have 1 Magical Android. I'm trying to get a caster. Ally of Justice Caster right now because I think it'd be better than my Magical Android. Yes, I do gain life points with this, but there's times where a caster would be so much better. The good level 6, a Goyo and a Bryonic. Everyone knows these cards are just great to have in a side deck. I run 2 Power Tools. I don't run 3 because I feel that's a little overkill and I can't quite get the cards in my hands I need. So I can usually get 2 Power Tools out and a Gigaplant out fairly quickly with just a Lone Fire and a Lone Fire and a Supervise. I can get these out plus Giga pretty fast. I have a Blackwing Armor Master. It's just in there in case I'm playing someone and they're playing Blackwing, which is pretty big today. And I can mind control their Gale or something and just sync for my... It's pretty fun to see their face when you steal their Gale and sync for an Armor Master. They kind of flip out a little bit. Black Rose Dragon, of course. Everyone needs this card in their side deck. I'm fixing to get her Ghost Rider in this, so this is fixing to go up for trade. I have 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, strictly because she has 3,000 defense. If I get in a hard spot, I can bring her out. I have Thorough Arch Ruler in case it takes too long to get my OTK off and I take a little bit of damage. I can always bring him out and come back. Stardust, of course. Everyone has them. Red Dragon Archfiend. I usually don't use him much, but he's in there just in case I have run into something I can't get around, like Marshmallow stall decks and stuff like that. 1 Colossal Fighter. Great stall card if you can't get around anything to set him in defense and just let him come back, come back, come back. 2 Black Drago Dragons. Like I said, I love to use these guys because they're 3,000 beat sticks, and if they get destroyed in any shape or form, I get to bring Gigaplant back. And I run 1 Mistworm because I have a nice little combo. If I can start out with it, I love to run with my Mistworm. Is it? Alright, I'm going to show you the combo that I love to do with my Twilight Rose Knight. The reason I only run 1 of them in my deck, and with my Supervises. Let me find the cards I do it with here real quick. There you go. If I can start out with these three cards in hand, I can end my first place by having a Mistworm on the field, bouncing 3 cards, get 2 tokens, and a Gigaplant on my side of the field, simply with this little combo right here. You normal summon Twilight, its effect kicks in, you get Lone Fire. Use Lone Fire to pop Lone Fire to grab a Lone Fire. Lone Fire for Gigaplant. You equip it with Supervise, which gives it the Gemini effect. You summon back Lone Fire. Use Lone Fire's effect to pop Gigaplant, which will come right back because of Lone Fire, to get out Dandelion. Where's my dandies at? Oh. Get a Dandelion, and you sync these 3 for there. And if you have another Supervisor in your hand, you can continue to go off. But here recently, I've changed this card to 18 monsters, 15 spells and traps, and 7 traps. And it's been doing a lot better, a little bit more consistent. There's a few things I think I can still do to it to improve it, so if you guys have any comments or anything, y'all should let me know. Alright, later guys.